Hey, good afternoon and morning and evening and night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a wonderful one out there. Appreciate you stopping by. Today, we're going to listen to a little bit from the Catherine Wheel. We're going to listen to this track, Satellite. This is off of their fourth studio album, Adam and Eve, which was released in 1997. We are listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Paul. Paul, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for the support as well. Really appreciate that. We've only listened to one track from the band, from Catherine Wheel, and now it's time to revisit them with this track. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. Naturally, we'll discuss a little bit after. Here we go. I like the album cover. It's kind of a cool concept. I like how that riff comes up. I like how upfront that crashes. I like that repeated line. I'm kind of catching it my own way. Those little keys here. to me, that kind of track is just a good put it on and drive kind of guitar driven rock track that you just go out and have a cool ride out. I really like lead singer Rob Dickinson's vocals here. And I think he's very expressive in a track like this. I think whether he's kind of in a more quieter tone or singing out alongside with the rest of the band and the group in the chorus and how they all kind of layer each other in certain ways there, I really like the way that he expresses himself and he delivers his singing there. But this whole song kind of, I think, is very focused very much more on the guitar. Like the way that it's just kind of, to me, this rising wave and tide of alt rock, kind of grungy-esque kind of guitar. And it just washes over everything with a heavy distortion, but also a nice melody. And it makes sense because you have, Rob Dickinson on guitar, but also Brian Futter on guitar. You also have Neil Sims on percussion and drums, Martin Ditcham on percussion, Tim Freeze-Green on organ and piano. Maybe not necessarily on this track, but you have him. Although you do have some keyboard in there. And then Pete Whitaker also on organ and piano and some cello and string arrangements on the album as well. So this is a kind of dense sound, but I think that they pack this all together very nicely and don't make it sound overly cluttered or chaotic or anything like that. I think it sounds quite clean and quite nice. I really like that break though when we have those little melodies of keys that come in. It was just like this really nice kind of melancholic drip that came in at a really nice time. And then it went back into the frayed guitar sounds and that more rock and roll approach. And I like that. I think that this song is a good song. I won't lie and say that it blows my mind or anything like that. I think it's a fine song. It does leave me wanting a little bit more, of course, which there may be more in the album, because especially when I look at this lineup and the instruments and the musicians involved, it makes me think ooh, there's something to this. But this one is much more straightforward. It comes in, hits you hard, and then it's out of there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let's look at these lyrics here. And I really like the album cover. There's just really something I think really artistic about the album cover. And I was trying to see if their shapes were spelling out like Adam and Eve or spelling out something, but I don't think so. And if it does, it's just too abstract for me to see it. No, I don't think it does. Feeling only left him bleeding for a whole number of reasons he never discovered, but soon he would be riding his wave, coast to coast. All his life was rosy and pink, fluffy in the middle, and constant grin. Anyone would think so. So almost like he's faking it. Everyone sees his life is rosy and pink, anyone would think so. But he says here in the very beginning, feeling only left him bleeding. Feeling in being involved emotionally only hurt him. But see that body shaking, see that body racing, feel that body baking from inside. The boy's a satellite, he won't be home tonight. And we crown ourselves again, there's been no change since you and I were young. When we burned ourselves again, the spaceship days when you and I were young. When you and I were young. The spaceship days. Would that mean the days that's maybe when they were younger and their imaginations were just left to wander the skies and they could be anywhere or go anywhere? Maybe it's just the chance or the choices and directions of youth. The spaceship days where you can do anything and you can go anywhere. Coast to coast, the scene was for Gene. All his life was mostly blue and far more dangerous than he ever knew. But I didn't see the need to say so. All right, so he didn't see the need to say so. Why warn him? Well, maybe something happened later on. See that body shaking, see that body racing, same old painful, aching bones inside. The boy's a satellite. He won't be home tonight. He's a rolling stone. He's out there just in space. He's enjoying life. He's wandering. And we crown ourselves again. There's been no change since you and I were young. When we burned ourselves again. The spaceship days when you and I were young. When you and I were young. He says he won't bore us anymore. It's the final straw, a reason to rejoice. The boy's a satellite. He won't be home tonight. And it repeats this again. I think that this is just... I really think that looking at the lyrics is just about about youth and having so many chances, choices, directions in your youth that you can go, things that you can accomplish, dreams that you can pursue, and opportunities that you can chase. I think that it comes down to all that. And this particular person that they talk about being a satellite, someone who, maybe they've grown up, but this person they describe as a satellite, in a sense, maybe hasn't, not grown up in a matured way, but they're still out there pursuing those dreams in some sort of way. That's how I read it. When you're, let's just say, I don't know, 10 years old. You guys, you have your neighborhood friends and you're all playing outside and riding your bikes and pretending you're pirates and ninjas and doing your thing, playing in the woods. And then 20 years later, maybe 2 out of the 3 friends, stable job, they have a career, they're professionals, they're doing their thing. But then one of them is still out there maybe pursuing a dream. Maybe they're pursuing a dream of being a musician or something artistic, right? And maybe they're not grounded in the foundation that the other 2 may have in a life way, but they're a satellite still out there wandering and still out there searching for their place, searching for that true home, that purpose. Maybe it's something like that. That's how I kind of read the lyrics here on this one. But let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, down there in the comments. I appreciate you all joining me here. I appreciate you, Paul, for the recommendation and for the support as well. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful one, and I'll see you all later. Bye, guys.